Hello, everyone. It took a while for it to kind of populate and get us live.
Yes, it was really strange. I was like,
Happy Wednesday. How are you? We were running errands today. Today's been a crazy day. Anyhow, I was like, I got everything for this at home. We couldn't find my lasagna noodles, which we found. We'll talk about some options for things. I did not have any crushed tomatoes, so we'll talk about how you can do that a few different ways. And you can kind of see Cheryl's cleaning off some mushrooms. Yeah, hey everybody, it's good to see all of you. So we are going to make an Italian sausage, spiced mushrooms, filled lasagna using okara ricotta that we're going to make. Okara is just leftover soy milk pulp. This would work just fine with leftover almond milk pulp too. Hey, Pretty Girl's mom, and hey, Mona. It's good to see both of you guys. It's so weird. It's coming up on this is showing up a little differently for us than it usually does in the comments.
I did that the last time to you.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Hey, Apple. So, I'm going to talk about how you can make your own sauce and not have a jarred sauce. Hey, Marcia. And we're just going to talk a little bit about everything. So, you guys know it's like Potions and Powders month. It's time for the pre-order. So, Potions and Powders, as of today, has about 180 recipes. That could change a little bit, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to increase the price because I thought there were going to be 80 recipes in here, and then there were 120, and now there's 180. But I won't do that until the weekend, so you guys have time to get it at the cheaper price with the code down below. Probably over the weekend, the price will raise, and then you'll still be able to use the code for a little bit. Elizabeth, back. Alexis, that's awesome. And Claire and Jackie. Marcia, did I miss anybody?
Could you finish your thoughts?
Oh, I said her name. But Miss Rodrigo, I will say, says this ebook was exactly what I've been looking for, so I pre-ordered the book as soon as I got your email. Thank you so much. I am so excited for this book. So one of the reasons I'm doing these lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday until the release is to show you how we use these. It's all great to say, oh, here's an Italian sausage spice. And then you're like, that's great, Kathy, but what do I do with it? Do I like snort it? No, of course we don't do those things. But you can saute it with tofu. You could put it in a bean burger, make small patties, and make them sausage patties. Roxy and Melissa and Nick and TS, it's so awesome to see all you guys here.
A lot of dirt in here.
Yeah, that's why we wipe the mushrooms off. They are grown in dirt.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cheryl cleaned the mushrooms.
It's gross.
It's not that gross. Here, I'll get another.
Gotta wash my hands.
Everybody needs a helper like Cheryl. Okay, maybe they don't. Sometimes they do. All right. So we'll also talk a little bit. These mushrooms I got at Costco. In the drawer.
This one? No.
The drawer. So I always talk about making your own mushroom powder. And so literally this is what I do. We're going to be chopping these mushrooms up in a small food processor. Yay, Raw Chef Yin is here too. That's awesome. I sent you an email. So you can eat the stem. There's nothing wrong with eating the stem. Why do I take it out? So I can make mushroom powder with it. So literally, that's why I do it. And I just do it like this. Usually I'll cut these in half, stick them in the Breville or the dehydrator. And even if I only use 4 mushrooms in this recipe, I would go ahead and dehydrate those. And then I just keep the dehydrated stems, and when I have enough, I put it in the blender and I make a powder. Ta-da! The awesome mushroom powder. And Carlene says, what's the best way to clean mushrooms? And I just use a damp paper towel. There are people have feelings. They have feelings about a lot of things, but they have feelings about, oh, if you rinse your mushrooms underwater, they're going to soak up all this and be mushy. That's been proven not to be true, but do whatever makes you feel happiest. Okay. But that's what I do, and especially if I get something that's big, like from Costco or something else. Also, that powder then I can use as mushroom flavor when I don't have any mushrooms. Okay, here's even another mushroom tip. You can slice these puppies up and freeze them. So when they're on sale at the Asian market for like, I don't know, $2.99 a pound for shiitakes, I buy a giant bag. I take the stems and dehydrate them, and then I just run down and grab some when I want to make a stir fry. Oh, awesome. Mona says she has two large baggies in the freezer. Yep, it's awesome. So mushrooms can be expensive, and like sometimes white versus like the Bella mushrooms, they're still going to be fine. You can really kind of interchange them.
What kind are these?
These are white. Just button mushroom, plain old mushrooms. So I'm going to use this because I didn't want to bring my big food processor over. You could do different. And I'm just going to tear it into like 4 pieces just to make it a little easier. And this is what we're going to make into sausage. If you want to make this and you have the Italian sausage spice blend already made up, you could use riced cauliflower. You could use a lot of different things. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. And get this guy in here. So I'm going to show Cheryl. You have to hold the lock button.
Okay.
And then usually I shake it a little bit because see how there's some big pieces still?
Uh-huh.
Can you guys see the big pieces? Nope. Doo-doo-doo. Bigger pieces. Yeah, you can see one real good there. So I want it to be like mix, right? As if we had put something kind of meaty in there. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Looks pretty good.
See how there's a few pieces that aren't perfect, and I'll show you guys up here too.
Seem like a good size.
Yeah, I think that's good. And what we're going to do then, so we're just going to put it in the pan. These are going to reduce in volume quite a bit. Cheryl's handing me spatula. Oh, look, squash goals. Feeling it. Feeling fall, even if it does not want to be here. Okay. Hey, Lydia. Oops. Don't grab the blade. I'm like getting ready to click on the blade instead of my
You
mouse.
want me to clean it?
No, because you know what? We're going to
do
make
more.
more. And I'm going to let you do it this time. You just want to make sure that's got a little...
Bounce to it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just this particular one. And if you don't want to save your stems and you don't want to make mushroom powder, you do not want to... just don't worry about it. Just put them in here and pulse them up too. You don't want to fill this more than about halfway or it's going to get stodgy in that it's just not going to want to do anything. So why don't you do that part? And I think I saw that Mona said she got some mushroom powder at the farmer's market and she's not sure what to do with it. Well, one thing that you can do with it is put in one of the blends from Potions and Powders, like the beefy bouillon, the umami blend. There's a lot of seasoning blends that use it. Oh, that's good. You twist it that way. And then we can take this out. Maybe. Oh, gosh, that was holding on tight. Okay, and then we're just going to put them in the pan. And then we'll do a couple more. I'm going to go ahead and make all of these.
This one's too big, huh?
That's okay. We can save it for next time. Here, no, we're going to do more. So let's just save it.
Okay.
Save it out. Put them in there. Okay, and use that to get the rest out of the sides. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the whole container. I'm going to make them all Italian sausage spiced. And then I'm going to take part of the part that I don't use, if there's any, and put it in the freezer. So mushroom powder adds an umami, darker, beefier kind of flavor. So you can add it to, like, if you wanted to make like corned beef stew with jackfruit, mushroom powder will really help you there. Actually, we'll pop this guy in there too. Oop. There we go. Oh, you guys can't see what we're doing. Oh, it's okay. It's bouncy. Do 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 do.
I really need to put that sound effect on there for you.
Do 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 do. I'm a little punchy. I drove home in rush hour too. It was not pretty.
People drive crazy these days, like super crazy.
But mushroom powder, tomato powder, nutritional yeast, ancho or guajillo chili powders, those are all things that add a really nice dark umami to vegan food, okay? I will take the rest of these out. And if you don't have a dehydrator, you probably can put your oven on the lowest setting and be okay. I know, right? You can actually wait, take this. You can pick the whole thing up. And that shakes kind of the bigger parts to the middle. There you go. And I'll have the last one ready for you. And we're doing all this pretty much from scratch. So what am I, the little, the blade in there has some sort of spring, so she keeps trying to push it down all the way, which is what you usually would do, but it bounces. So it's not the mushroom that's bouncy, it's other things. Hi, Aziara, it's good to see you.
So I'm itching.
So like I said, other things, if you didn't have mushrooms, you could use cauliflower. We could crumble tofu or tempeh and saute it pretty much the same way. I'm going to actually start that while you're working on these, but I'll just kind of, you might need two to go twice. We'll find out. But also I need to take a picture of mushrooms with meaty spice on it, because we could use, and from the book there's like a taco spice. We could use that on here. There's andouille sausage, there's breakfast sausage, there's all these different things, and depending on what you have on hand and what you want to make or in the mood to make, there we go. I'm going to wash my hands and then we'll start sauteing these. I'm doing the mushrooms first because I'd like them to cool a little bit before I start assembling the lasagna. Okay. So I'm just going to do it over like medium heat. I'm on a mushroom, so are you making the pumpkin lasagna? So if you're on the newsletter, I sent you pasta recipes today, including my white bean pumpkin lasagna, which is one of my favorite things to make. So sometimes your mushrooms may be dry, and if so, you might even want to add a little bit of water. So I'm going to get a little bit of water just to have by my side. And this is a step you could do ahead of time, or it could be part of your monthly staple potions and powders preparations, in that you could do it once a month, have some of this in the freezer, and then just thaw it out. Or if you put it, let me show you. I feel like I need to use my hands for this one. So like if you put it in a Ziploc and you pat it down so it's thin, you literally can break those pieces up and just crumble it there too.
teaser.
You know, Beck, I haven't done them in a regular oven, so it's going to depend on what your lowest setting is, and it will be hours, though. And I would suggest, if you can, to get a cheap dehydrator, like the little plastic white round ones. Here.
I'm having a really hard time with those big ones. Won't get down there.
I think you have too many in there. That's why I said you might have to do this twice. That's why. Because it can't.
Can't handle the extra.
It's not, yeah. Because what's happening is it's getting all bogged down.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to let you finish picking these out. Let me wash my hands again. Okay.
Probably just whirl those.
Huh?
Probably just whirl that.
Well, just go. Well, up to you. Up to you. Whatever you want. You're the one doing that part. It is up to you. So already, ooh, let's get that in there too. I'm smelling just that delicious mushroom smell. And those of you who really hate the texture of mushrooms, if you really mince it down, most people can tolerate it. You may not be most people, and that's okay. But I think these mushrooms cost like $3 or $4, and I think this would be the equivalent of several pounds of meat. Maybe we'll see how much is left when we're all cooked down. Denise says, watching Cheryl, you guys cook like normal, everyday people, and I appreciate it. Thank you, because we are. I do develop recipes. I mean, that's my thing, but everyone's tired. Everyone doesn't have enough time in the day to cook everything. And TS says, if I get a dehydrator, I don't want plastic, especially if any heat is used. What I would suggest to you, TS, do you already have the Breville Oven Air? They have metal dehydrator grids, and you can put parchment paper on it if something's wet, so it doesn't stick to it. That's what I would recommend for you. I haven't really seen a stainless steel dehydrator. Isn't it weird though? I mean, I know you can see some of the chunks, but isn't it weird how it kind of looks like meat? Cheryl, what do you think?
I think it looks like hamburger right now.
Right? And so if you have
The color looks like hamburger.
right, as they're cooking. And instead of buying Impossible ground meat or Beyond ground, it's very easy to still make kind of your family favorites or make things for other people that they'll still like without adding in all that coconut oil and things. And also with it's expensive. It cost me $3 or $4 tops. I think it was $3 for all these mushrooms. A pound of like Impossible meat, I think, is like $11 or $12. So this not only is healthier, I think it's tastier, and it's cheaper. Right? And so with that, I'll probably also have maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of mushroom powder. And TS says, I was looking at Excalibur or Corsi stainless steel shelves, and that's fine too. The reason I really kind of go on and on about going ahead and getting just the plastic one is it's cheap, and if you're on a budget, most of the time if you have a buy nothing group, you can get them for free, or if you could put something out on if you live in Durham like I do, there's the Bull City Shares. You could say, hey, does anybody have a dehydrator? That's how I got my plastic one. Oh, hey, Jill. Good to see you. Okay. So, unless someone thinks it's different, this is actually not meat. It's minced mushrooms. Plain old minced mushrooms right now. This is the Italian sausage blend from my book. And I'm going to put a bunch in. There's no salt in this mix, so I can make it taste as sausagey as I want. And then I can add some salt or salt substitute after that. I just want to get it, cook off some of the liquid. That's going to do two things. It will concentrate the flavors a little bit more of the mushroom itself, and it'll make it a little bit drier on the lasagna, which in thinking, since I'm not cooking the pasta first, it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of wetness in here. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to taste it. Woohoo, that's good. Beck says I'm too cheap to buy Impossible or Beyond. I feel you. I'm going to put just a little bit more. So I'm probably putting 1 to 3 tablespoons because I want it to be really, really flavorful. Because I want it to stick out and not just seem like it's a regular old mushroom lasagna. Though there's nothing in the world wrong with a regular old mushroom lasagna either. Put just a tiny bit more. Oh, not that big old glob. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in and a little bit of pepper in. But we could be making tacos, cooking this dry. Actually, I'm going to cook just a little bit more. And Jackie says I can't find Beyond Ground right now, and Impossible is getting harder to find and more expensive. And Impossible meat doesn't really agree with me. Like once a year, if we're traveling somewhere and there's just something really cool with it, I'll eat it. But it doesn't agree with me. Beyond sets on my stomach much better for whatever reason. And Apple says, to be honest, fake meats freak me out because they don't look fake. And I totally get that too. One of the things that can be hard is if you're the only whole food plant-based member of your family and people are like, well, I miss Italian sausage lasagna. And you're like, well, dude, I can give you some Beyond Meat. But even with that, honestly, if you love Beyond Meat, you could season it with this too. Or instead of spending, we were just at Whole Foods, it's $12 for 4 links of Beyond sausage. I don't remember. It's been a long time because we were doing that when you were first transitioning more than a while ago. Or I would get it for red beans and rice. But you know what? You could, like with the andouille spice blend, you can toss that with some cauliflower, make some air fried andouille cauliflowers, and serve that on top of your red beans and rice. So that you're still getting those really good, yummy flavors, but you're also getting more veggies into everybody. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I am pro using foods to transition. If it helps you, then that's for you. Everything is not for everyone. And if you're looking at this and you're a mushroom hater, then this one isn't for you. You should use cauliflower or crumble up some tempeh or tofu. And that would work really well too. That's what I used to make my ricotta out of before I started making so much okara. And I made like 4 batches of soy milk. Was it 2 days ago? All the soy milk. Here, Cheryl, why don't you take a little taste, see what you think.
Ooh, I can't look at it.
Why? Because it looks like meat. It's going to be a little hot.
Good.
Is it enough spice, enough taste enough like Italian sausage, or you think it needs a little more? It's going to be in something else. To me, that says a little bit more. Okay. And so, while I'll tell you some of the things you can use these spices for, it's ultimately up to what tastes like enough to you or your family. And if you're like, I don't like X in it, because Italian sausage has fennel. If you don't like fennel, you can leave it out of the sausage blend. And that's the beauty of some of this. Oh, and Apple says, I'm still making your sausage crumbles with steel cut oats. Yeah, those are great to do too. It's just,
Those are my favorite.
it's great to put it on something you're going to bake or sprinkle, but if you put those inside of lasagna, they will return to their original oatmeal form,
Yeah.
which could be a little surprising. Okay, so we've got that part done. Now I'm going to make some ricotta. This is my okara. And okara, for those of you who maybe don't know,
Looks like mashed potatoes.
it does, and you can put it in mashed potatoes. It's a lovely thing to do. Probably
There was one day when I thought it was mashed potatoes, and I got a big surprise.
So I'm going to take probably about a cup. Maybe 2 cups. There is some soy milk in here, and that's fine too. Oh, what the heck. I'm going to make the whole thing. Oh, no. That's a long spatula. I need a short spatula.
I don't understand the spatula.
There's a spatula hierarchy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I would have to hold it and go like imagine it's a giant straw. Yeah, and that's true too. Carlene is saying, I'm going to just make a big batch, and I'm going to do it to taste. There is a recipe in Potions and Powders. And one of the things I can do too with this is I can make it and I can freeze it. And then we can thaw it out and make another lasagna. Or you know what we could do? We could even prep a lasagna and freeze it, the second one, to cook it. What? Why are you smiling? You're just excited about lasagna?
I'm a little excited about lasagna.
Okay. So,
I'll rinse that out so it doesn't get...
okay. It won't be so bad because it's not stainless steel. It'll rinse. Here are these 2 parts too.
Trying to keep us ahead of the game.
That would be great. We've been doing a lot of lives, so I'm going to put some nutritional yeast in here. I don't want it to taste super cheesy. I just want it to have a little bit. I am going to put some lactic acid, and we've talked about that before. I use Druid's Grove. It's vegan, non-GMO, and it's made from sugar beets. Let me get, I think I'm going to go ahead and for a whole teaspoon of lactic acid in there. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll put some lemon powder. Yeah, we can talk about that too. We'll talk about, so if you make milk and you have almond pulp, you probably could use that. If you make it in the nama, you'll probably have to add some non-dairy milk to make it a little more malleable. I use it out of the nama as is for queso fresca. And you could literally blend tofu. What I used to do is do a blend of like silken and or firm or soft tofu. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all. And then just blend it in there. So you could do that. Okay, this is true lemon powder. You can make your own lemon powder as well, just by dehydrating and blending the, let's see if this is going to be blending the peel, or like if you zest the rind. And I'm freehanding it, but this is what I usually do at home. But like I said, you'll have a real recipe in Potions and Powders that you can then go, oh, well, Kathy likes less nutritional yeast than I do, or I don't want to put lemon in mine. And if you don't have lactic acid, you could put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there, or rice vinegar. Yeah, that's enough lemon, that's enough lactic acid. I think I'm going to put salt. You can put salt substitute because cheese is salty. But if you make your own milk, definitely you can freeze the okara too if you're not going to make something like this, or you could freeze it as ricotta. Either way to use later. And even this ricotta, you could take this ricotta and put it in Ninja Creamy Pint if you wanted to make like the lemon ricotta fig ice cream without buying Kite Hill ricotta. Needs just a little more salt to me. The lemon is good. I think it could use just a tad bit more lactic acid. And if you make it by the recipe, you may not need to do any tweaks, or if you do, make sure, especially if you've printed it out, because it's an ebook, and you can print it out and get it spiral bound if you want to show the spiral bound. Then you can put notes in the margins and go, I like this salt substitute in there over something else.
Oh, I was like, we don't have it spiral bound.
No, I just want you to show.
This is the Creamy Book 3.
You could totally use lemon juice.
And this is how you print it out, and the better paper you put it on. I like to put it on heavier grade paper, but print it out both sides, right? Take it to Staples, hand it to them and say, I'd like this spiral bound, please. They'll ask you if you want the plastic back. Say yes. Do. And then they'll put a little plastic sheet on the front, and they'll spiral bound it $6-7 later.
Yeah. So tasting is always really, really, really important. Okay. So we've got these guys. We've got this. So the thing I didn't have, and it's so simple. So you remember, I think we made Italian seasoning blend, or we used, no, it was in a different class. This is Italian seasoning blend. You can make an Italian dressing with it, or let's imagine. Okay, let's put our imagination hats on. Cheryl, put your imagination hat on. This is just plain crushed tomatoes. It could be crushed tomatoes with basil. We're going to put some of this in there, and we're going to put a little balsamic, and we're going to put a little bit of nutritional yeast and mix it up in the can. So then for like $1.20 instead of $2 or $3, or if you get fancy stuff, $10, you have a sauce. Why am I not doing it today? Because I have no crushed tomatoes.
All we have is diced tomatoes. We have like 20 cans of diced tomatoes.
Okay, and could you make it with diced tomatoes? Yes, you could. You would put all that in a blender if you have a picky eater like her. She can't. Hey, Annette, and 7-Piece Frog, and Susan, it's good to see you guys. And I think I answered the question, but you could use lemon juice. Absolutely. I have a jar of these little packets that I got during the pandemic. I got boxes at the Amazon store. And so since they're in packets and in a sealed jar, they last forever. So I don't have a lemon right now, but I've got this. So, all right. So we have just some sauce. And I think this one was from Aldi's. And if I remember correctly, this one does not have oil in it. It's tomato puree, diced tomatoes, tomato juice, basil, salt. It does have salt, dried onion, garlic, basil. Yeah, and I probably would put onion powder and garlic powder in there too. I have a recipe in Potions and Powders for this very thing.
I always grab a couple of those because they don't have oil in them.
And if you're salt-free, it's really hard to get a salt-free, oil-free sauce. Magic can of make your own marinara in like 5 seconds is great. Works great. Now this is one of the square any day dishes for the microwave. So I haven't shown these in a while. So this has a little thing and you pull it up and it's got little vents and you press it down and it doesn't have vents, and you could store it, and it can go in the freezer, and it can do all these different kinds of things. Yay. And I believe it is the medium size square one.
I think it is, yeah.
So I'm going to pour some sauce on here. This is the bane of my existence, is actually writing the instructions out for layered dishes. In a recipe, I'm like, do this, then do that. You want sauce on the bottom because we want to cook the pasta. I am using, Carlene buys Dr. Furman's marinara for SOS free. That's great. And Jackie said I bought a box of True Lemon at the dollar store. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see if I missed any other comments now. Apple's making art. So this is just oven ready lasagna. And there should be enough. We have some different kinds too, if necessary. And you can see where I break my lasagna when necessary. Because wouldn't it be nice if this was just square? But no, I'm gonna have to take these little ends off. There we go. And I can always draw, and I actually have those little ends over here too. Oh, I have like mushroom under my finger. That's not like oil or grease. It's literally mushroom. But I'm sorry, I know that's not very...
So this is where she and I tend to differ on how we like to make lasagna.
And how would you like to make lasagna today?
I'm going to watch you do the first layer, and then I will let you know what I didn't like about it.
Why don't you tell me first?
I don't use as much of this as you do. I would put sauce.
Again?
I would put another bit of sauce.
Okay. And then you would put what? The mushrooms?
And then I would put some mushrooms. Actually, I would put the mushrooms first.
Okay.
And probably half the amount of mushroom that you think you want to put.
Yeah, no. She likes...
I don't like...
I like things...
I like
a
it
filled
very...
pasta needs to be filled. Actually, we might use all these. But see, look, it's not that thick.
No. I guess the difference between you and I is I always make mine a little bit more layers than you do.
Well, that's because if I do too many layers, then I end up and I'm too big.
Yeah, that's true.
So no, we're just going to probably just do 2 layers. 1 layer of the beefy, well, Italian sausagey mushrooms, and a layer of the ricotta, the okara ricotta, but it'll be whatever. You can buy Kite Hill ricotta. I have no judgments for you. I'm just too cheap. They're like $10 for a small one, and that would cost, I don't know, it costs too much. I would not be happy. Let's see, because see, look, it's not very thick at all. She's like, I don't believe you, but it's really not that much on there. It's going to seem quite thin. And I want more veggies than pasta layer when possible, or at least equal. And actually,
I'm all about the pasta.
I've got some mushroom juice in here, and I'm going to kind of save that and maybe mix it in with the sauce on top of something to use that liquid to cook the pasta, because that'll make it really yummy. Yeah, I think it's necessary. Okay.
Yeah, I would put more sauce on top of that before you put the pasta.
Well, I want to put the sauce on top of the pasta so it cooks the pasta.
Well, you're going to have another layer, right?
Yeah, but...
Okay. You do you.
I am going to do me. But I'm like, we can negotiate some parts of this, but not all of them. Okay, and see how there's some in the middle? That's a great place to put the leftover pasta pieces. No pasta left behind. right? Okay, now I would put another layer of sauce. Club! Elizabeth said Cheryl's face. She's going to eat the bejesus out of this, so no matter what she's saying. Because it's going to be good. So we've got Italian mushrooms, and now we're going to do a layer of our okara ricotta. And if you don't make your own soy milk, I will try and talk you into making your own milk, even if it's oat milk, especially if it's oat milk, because it's the cheapest and you don't need any fancy appliances.
Because Kite Hill is really expensive right now.
I was talking about making, oh yeah, Kite Hill is like $10. This would be like $20 of Kite Hill ricotta. Okay, I'm going to see if I can spread some of this out a little bit. And see how it's almost all to the top already?
Yeah, that's a short bowl.
It is. And I probably will still somehow not meet its expectations. I always end up with stuff stuck to the top. Okay. Break it how you need to break it to fit in whatever you have. That guy. Put all the little pastas, don't leave them left out. Okay. And then a last thing of sauce. Oh, and Jackie says Kite Hill isn't even an option in her area. Let's do this one. I'm just trying to not. Oh, I also said I was going to use that juice, didn't I? I'm not going to. I'll save it. I'm going to save it and maybe put it in a stew. Now, if I'm too close to the top and it squishes, I take full responsibility, just so you know. Oh, and Mona said I would have to have more ricotta before more pasta. And it's just, yeah, you do it however you want to do it. It's your lasagna. It's not my lasagna if you're eating it, right? So one thing, okay, first let's see if I squished it. Let's see if I squish it. I'm so close. Oh, I think I made it. Did I make it? Oh!
That's a first, y'all.
Woo! So I'll let you see the top.
That is a first.
I almost always have everything squished up here. So I can't remember. I've talked about making it in the microwave before, but here's when I want to know, what is this about? I'm going to go to Any Day site. So I'm going to show you that. Oh, maybe I'm going to show you that. Maybe I'm not going to show you that. It's right there. Why are you not showing? There you go. I did nothing different. So there we go.
They're in the corner. They're in the corner.
Oh,
I'm a little punchy.
We're all a little punchy. So I go over here and I'm like, hey, let's search for lasagna. Look, microwave lasagna. Is this what we're doing exactly? Of course not. Because this has beef and cheese and gosh knows what else. But serving size. So this is like the 5.5 glass square shallow dish. If you don't have the Any Day pans, then you could just get something close enough. If you want to make it in the microwave. If you want to make it in the oven, you can layer it. I would cover it with foil or parchment and then foil. Probably cook it for about 45 minutes, test it, see what's going on. Actually, speaking of that, I'll get one of our microwave things. We always have these bowl, I forget what. So this one is big enough.
Those are my favorite.
That I can probably put this in. And then it has its own little pot holder. when I take it in and out.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So we're on here. I kind of looked around. Choose wattage means what wattage is your microwave. I've got a big microwave. It's 1200 watts. So it's going to tell you the ingredients that we're not using. Also, if you wanted to put some mozzarella on top, or if you're in Kathy's Cooking Club or you got the bundle, I have a pourable mozzarella that I would cook this and then do the pourable mozzarella and kind of put it in the oven for a little bit. This says cook in the microwave for 9 to 10 minutes or until the lasagna is hot in the center. Test by inserting a fork and feeling for warmth. The first thing we're going to do is insert a fork to see if it's still crunchy. That's how I think of it, right? So we're going to put it in, and then Cheryl will entertain you for the next 10 minutes. Yeah, you could add, there's so many things you could do to this. So like Jackie says, I'd be tempted to add some spinach, the ricotta. Susan doesn't own a microwave, then don't make it in your oven. You're fine. Oh, and Darlene says, if you don't have one already, any idea for a future, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me get this in here.
Because I don't know how to entertain you for 10 minutes.
Yes, you do. You're very entertaining, Cheryl. Oh, this is heavy to lift up, and I just went to the chiropractor.
I'll do that for you.
She would be like, stop it.
Yeah,
we'll put it on.
Don't knock your shoulders out again.
Okay, so let's talk. I am going to be doing a milk making pulp recipe. I probably won't do everything chickpea water, just because, or aquafaba, because there are some books already on that. But we can talk about that too. With any kind of milk, if you have leftover milks, you can freeze them in ice cube trays. Going away on vacation and had to do 3 lives and have 4 batches of soy milk, put them in ice cube trays. And then you can thaw them out. Thank you. That was making me a little crazy.
I could tell.
Don't, you're spraying my lasagna. Don't spray the lasagna or my, wait, let me get, it is a natural branch cleaner,
Branch
but
basics.
still. It is branch
I could probably drink it and be all right.
Yeah, but let's not try that. Okay, so what else? Yeah, like almond pulp is really good if it's dry to make like a queso fresca using like salt or salt substitute, a little bit of lime powder or lime juice, a little bit of like very little nutritional yeast in this, or in queso fresca or the ricotta. But hopefully that helps. Carlene says, have you ever thought about opening a B&B or an inn? I was just thinking how awesome it would be to eat your meals. That sounds interesting and stressful. Sometimes it's stressful enough just to go to the grocery store. Those of you who've seen me out and about, I am social. I'm very social, and if you meet me at a whole food plant-based thing, I will be all on and up, and then I will go to my room and not speak to Cheryl so that I can, like, I think if I was in my 30s, I would totally think about doing it. I just wasn't in a place to do that then.
Well, maybe when we have our place in the Cotswolds, we can.
Yeah. Oh,
we can invite people
that
over.
We can talk about
and solve mysteries.
And Caleb says, Cheryl, we have a lot more lime streams to do, so no drinking cleaner. And Elizabeth says, if you don't have that pan, how long and what temp would you cook it in the oven or the Breville? I would cook it covered. And then you could uncover it if you want to put some like Miyoko's mozzarella, or if you want it, like I said, if you got the bundle earlier this year, I had my pizza class in there. So I had a mozzarella and I had a pourable cheese for the pizza. You could use one of those, but I would cook the lasagna first, then do that. I tend to cook things at 350.
Yeah, that's your standard.
It's my non-thinking cooking temperature. So I probably would put it on 350 for 45 to 60 minutes. And I would cook it covered. Because what happens is, like, if you haven't cooked your lasagna already, we want it kind of covered so all that stuff can kind of bubble up and steam the lasagna noodles. That's really what we're looking for. So even though that stuff was kind of wet, it should be drier. And in fact, sometimes my lasagna can be quite dry, and then I just put extra sauce on the top. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I don't know, but I've never tried to make marzipan, period, from the okara. The only thing is the marzipan gets its flavor from the almonds and its texture from the almonds and sugar.
Almond okara.
Yeah, almond. Well, no, it's not almond okara.
Almond
so you
pulp.
you said almond soy milk pulp.
Almond
Okara is a specific. Yeah.
Almond pulp.
Yeah, almond pulp would probably work for that for sure. Let's see, did I miss anything else? And Darlene, I totally get you. And next year I am planning like a milk and milk pulp book specifically. There'll be a couple of milks and a couple of milk pulp recipes in Potions and Powders. And so more people are on now. So let me tell you again about the book. We're about halfway through the cooking before our first test. So right now the book is $34.99 and there's a 25% off link down below until it's gone, and that will mean it's no longer 25% off. I think it's going to be 25% off through the end of next week, but it could be a little sooner that it goes away. Over the weekend, the price of the actual book is going up to $39.99 because there's 180 recipes. And even as I'm sitting here and as I have sworn to Caleb that I would not add any more, there's a couple I'm still toying with. So
it went from 80 recipes to 120 recipes, and now we're at 180 recipes.
So just because it's big. So like most of my $24.99 books have like 50 to 60 recipes. So, but you would still get, next week you'll get 25% off of the new price if you use that link. But so if you want the very best price, you need to get it in the next couple of days. And that's just because it keeps getting bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I have to take photos and I have to make all those pages and stuff like that. So hopefully that helps. There are recipes for dry mixes, spice blends. I'm pretty sure the okara recipe is in there, the ricotta. There's recipes for bouillons and drinking broths and dry mixes for cookies and mole sauce and nacho cheese that you have a dry mix and you just add water. And that, if you look at the baked potato video, the twice baked stuffed potatoes.
I think that's what it is titled, yeah. But it's delicious. The nacho cheese sauce is delicious.
It really, really is. And Mona said, did you say if we already bought the book, the added recipes will be there? You pre-ordering the book, so the book doesn't exist yet. So therefore, when it is there, all the recipes. So yeah, people who pre-ordered first aren't getting 120 recipes. They're going to get 180 or however many there ends up being, like everybody else. So yeah.
You just get the bonus that you got it at the lower price.
And that you get bonuses with it. Because when you pre-order right now too, you get 2 full classes that Cheryl's even edited for chattiness in Kathy's Cooking Club. That's worth $70. And then she's working on taking these lives and editing them down. And then I'm going to put some of the recipes in that are going to be in the book so you can cook along. So there is no downside to buying now. It's not like if I added a new perk, you guys are getting it. Mm-hmm. So it could be the opposite way. You're getting a perk that someone a month from now can't get. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Oh, absolutely not. Carlene says, will you just bill us the increased amount if we pre-order? No. Yay you.
What you paid
Bonus.
is what you paid.
What you paid is what you paid. No. It's not retroactive.
Just because somebody's extra ambitious doesn't mean it's going to cost you extra money
No.
during this pre-order.
No, but
period.
that's why I'm telling you now, though, the price is going to go up this weekend. And I'm telling you that so you have a chance, because you guys are the people who follow me all the time, and I want to make sure that you can get this for the best price that you can. That is all. And Elizabeth says, oh my God, you have to take photos of each one. That is part of what I was reasoning out today. There's some I'm going to do in groups. So like I did one that's like the sweet spices, like pumpkin pie spice, apple pie spice, chai spice, which are things that you can put in drinks or muffins or oatmeal.
Or creamy pints.
Yeah, creamy pints. Like some of the meatier ones, like the Italian seasoning, the taco, the andouille spice, some of those will be in a picture together. And then I'll have, oh, that's why I wanted to save some mushrooms.
You needed them for the picture.
We'll get more mushrooms. We'll make more stuff. Or maybe I'll just show the cauliflower. We'll talk about ways to use all of these. And I am thinking in November what we might do for everyone who's pre-ordered and possibly buy the book. We'll see how it works out. Is that I'll do a live Q&A and do a couple of demos, and that way everybody can have a good feel of what's going on with the book. And it is a lot of work, and that is why I'm freaking out, and that is why almost every email you hear, I've been working hard taking photos, because it's a lot.
It is a lot. There's no way that she can do 180 photos this late in the game for the extra recipes.
It's rough. And I do have some of these recipes have been photoed, so every single photo may not be brand new. I'm giving myself a little grace with that. If it's a really good photo, I'm going to go ahead and add it in. Like I have a really good one of the mole sauce. So, and like Caleb said, you get it at the price you pre-ordered it at. And I'm just raising it for later pre-orders. Because you remember I said pre-order now, because I don't know if it'll ever be this low again. That's what that meant. Oh, sweetie. Carlene, that's so sweet. I feel kind of bad about the price because you're putting so much time and effort in. Well, you know what? Just tell somebody else about the book. Come hang out with us more on lives. You've been doing great, Carlene, but just in general, ways that you can support us is by watching the lives, watching us on the Plant-Based Explorers. Maybe you know someone who wants a Christmas gift of an ebook. And if you actually have a mailing list or you have your own community, if you want to reach out to support at healthyslowcooking.com, we do have an affiliate program so you could earn some income while you're also helping to spread this book around, and that's a win-win for all of us. Also, we have some things that you can buy on Fourth Wall, and that's linked through on YouTube. So like we have some t-shirts, we have some creamy books, and should you want to, I don't really put this out there, but you can make a donation through there too. Should you want to, this is not me telling you you have to or you should in any way. Is the lower price still on? Yep, till this weekend. We like your chatty.
Let me tell you, y'all, the first Potions and Powders live that I have edited down so that it's just making the stuff.
Oh, I get it now.
The first one that I did, I took an hour and a half live. And when you cut out all the chit chat and just get down to business with just a little bit of chit chat, is 18 minutes.
And this is just seriously, because you can still, the lives are always still open for replay. So if you want to be and deal with all the community funness, but, ooh, I think it may be ready.
I bet it needs more.
I don't know. I'll show you guys so you can see how that's kind of made a little hump. That's very positive in that it may be ready, because that means it's bendy.
Yeah.
See how bendy?
That's the only thing I hate about the microwave stuff is that you don't get that, I like those crunchy edges on the...
Well, and here's the thing. We could then just put it in. So I'm going to stick it in the middle, because it's a little al dente.
It needs a little bit more.
So let's talk about a couple of ways we could do this. Because I can put this in the oven too. So, and in fact, we ended up eating at Cava because I had emergency food needs. Like I was starting to get kind of faint and shaky because we didn't eat. When I'm working on a book, sometimes I can't always.
She doesn't get her hunger cues properly, and also then her thyroid goes wacko. So
yeah, so
we have to like.
So we actually
beast.
did eat dinner. We were not planning on it. We went to Cava, had a lovely brown rice, lentil, cruciferous vegetable kind of thing. So if I wanted to eat this right now, I would probably just go ahead and put it in the oven. And I feel like there's enough wet in here that I could probably choose not to cover it. Or if I wanted to eat it right this second, let me get these stuff. I could go ahead and put it in the microwave. I can't help it.
She won't waste anything.
I can't help it. It needs to be over here.
I think in a past life you lived during the Depression.
I don't know. I was a poor grad student.
That helps too.
So, I mean, I have had some times of scarcity in my life. Also now, if you wanted to put some mozzarella, obviously vegan mozzarella on it, or pour the pourable mozzarella, whatever, you could put that in and just put it in the oven too, maybe for another 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes till it gets kind of good. But it's really close. It's al dente, so when we cook it again from being in the fridge.
That makes total sense, because we're not going to eat it for dinner. We just leave it like that, and then when we heat it up tomorrow, voila.
Look at you.
My brain's working. Yay!
There's
help for me yet. It's 7:02 and my brain is working.
We've been doing a lot, y'all. So she's editing a lot, I'm writing a lot, and
usually about this time of the night, both of our brains go, I don't know what are we doing? What were you doing? What was I doing? And then we just both stop and just like sit for a few minutes and then watch some Agatha Raisin. She makes us all happy, and then we go back to working again.
Yeah. So I have a couple more things I have to do tonight that are not photos, and then tomorrow is an all photo day, probably a no live day. I'll go live on Friday. And for those of you in Kathy's Cooking Club, I am thinking of changing the time on Saturday or changing it from Saturday to Friday. I'm going to send out an email tonight. My friend is doing a canning demo at the Plant Pod in Chapel Hill. So if I get to go or not, it's during class. If I get to go or not, Cheryl will live stream it. So you can pick the live stream of her or the class. That's why I'm like, maybe I should move the class and then we could both do part of the live stream. Yeah. So know that that's coming.
And I think the live stream would be very helpful for everybody because she's like a canning expert.
And Nancy is so nice. Like we go and hang out and have like breakfast with her and her husband. She's just a really nice person. You guys will like her a lot. So let me get back to some questions. I like this. Apple says, oh, I'm sure Kathy could do 180 photos, but it will be painful.
It's true.
Sometimes I feel like no one in the world understands me like Apple does.
Yeah.
Because I can hyper focus like a maniac.
She can. It's crazy.
But with the photos, I mean, it's just, you know how I scrape this out? I have to find the right beige pottery bowl. So setting up a photo takes longer than taking it.
There's an entire room over here that is supposed to be her office. That entire thing has shelving around the whole entire edge with like 6 shelving units from IKEA, and they are full to the brim with, what do you call them? Photography props. Photography props.
That I get to get at thrift stores.
I'm talking thrift store finds like you've never
You guys,
seen.
you've seen my pictures. You know it's good.
And she will go in there and like just scope through the whole thing several times and look and look and look, and then you'll hear bam, 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 bam. And then she'll come out all happy with this one little teeny tiny, give me the blue one. With this teeny tiny little thing.
So you have a few
It
things
was on
that-
the shelf, and she's like, "Oh, this is perfect. Look at the shape. Look at the color. You know what's going to go in here? It's going to be this color." I'm like, "Who cares?" But she cares. So that's all
We
that
all
matters.
care. Nick says, in one of your lives from the Cunard, you mentioned a chai spice blend you add to your oatmeal every morning. Will that blend be in the book by any chance? Why, yes, it will. Along with a pumpkin spice and apple spice blend. Apple pie, pumpkin pie. And so the difference, pumpkin and apple are really similar. Apple has a little more nutmeg in it. And all three of those, if you use a microwave, use an air fryer, if you bake some apples in your oven, sprinkle some of that on.
Yeah, it's good. I've had that.
It's really good. So there's so many ways, like, and there will be an initial investment in some spices, but we're also going to talk about where you can get those cheaper. Sometimes just getting them in bulk, you might be able to split them with some friends. But spices versus herbs, spices last for years and years and years. Herbs lose their flavor more quickly. Spices will reactivate when they have some heat on them.
That might be a good topic for doing like a Q&A after everything is said and done. That you could talk about, here's the best places to get these things. And
Yeah, that I'm going to write up some stuff for that in the book too.
Okay, good.
So I always do the front matter at the end, because if not, then it doesn't, I decide I'm doing different things sometimes than I'm doing and adding more. Darlene, it's any day, let's see, cookanyday.com. Cookanyday.com is where the microwave site is, and this is Any Day pans. And I love them. I really do. I was very anti-microwave once I started doing these, and then I've really had some good results.
She was so anti-microwave that when I first moved in with her in the old house, she had a sun porch, and I had this teeny tiny little microwave, and I had to keep it out on the sun porch.
Yes, you did.
But then when we moved here,
It was already there.
there was already one built in.
So
So,
taking it out would have made it weird.
like, and of course, I wasn't going to tell her that there were things that you could put there. So we got to keep the microwave.
What things could we have put there?
Well, you could have put like a hood, like one of those ugly
Oh.
hoods. You would have hated it though, because it would have been ugly.
Well,
It has the hood built in.
it has like a little thing built in. I never
Yeah.
use it.
But I mean, it has been beneficial having the microwave. You have to admit that
It
there are
is. No,
times
I like it better now. I
like
before.
when your tea gets cold and you can just pop it in the microwave.
Yeah, but I prefer just to make tea the right way.
I know you do, but there have been times when we've been busy and we just
Oh,
pop it.
look at Cleb over there, like telling me all these wonderful things. Tatiana says you priority answered this, but are these potions and powders recipes good for traveling with? And
Absolutely.
Caleb has heard this enough. He says a lot of these powders are very travel friendly. She brought some to New Hampshire with us to share. And
Here's the thing.
I don't know. Everything is a mess. We haven't unpacked fully from any of our trips yet this year. But like there's also, hand me that one, that bottle of things. Yeah, that one.
Let me look real quick.
This is chocolate peanut butter overnight oats instant mix. That's great to bring. I usually bring a tofu scramble mix, because if you get tofu scramble on the cruises, they don't put kala namak in things. If you don't use salt, you could do a mix without kala namak. No problem at all. What are other things that I have? Like a Middle Eastern chickpea sauce, a mushroom gravy, so if you can find some potatoes, or a nacho cheese mix. So if I'm on the best way to do those is to whisk them in a little thing, put them in the microwave, or put them in a saucepan and cook it up that way, because the oats, most of these are oat thickened. They thicken and cook down and make a really smooth, silky sauce. In a pinch, you can put some hot water in there, whisk it, put the lid on, and maybe whisk it a little more. If you can sneak a little mini blender on, then you could blend it if it's a little lumpy. But honestly, if I have a plain baked potato and I have some mole sauce and nacho cheese to put on it, I don't care if it's a little lumpy. I'm pretty happy. So hopefully that helps. Aw, thanks, Apple. That was very sweet of you. Yeah, the Chatty Cathy edit. Because sometimes I had some caffeine with my dinner, and I'm feeling it. Let's see. Oh, Busy Bee, that's so sweet. Thank you very much for the super chat, or the super sticker. That's like a super chat, so I appreciate that. And Seven Priest Frog says, I love to hear all the fun there is on the lives. It's like learning with friends. Exactly, because you are. We're a community. We're supporting each other. We're kind here. And the world outside can be kind of tough. And it's nice that we have all of this. And Tia says, I'm with Cheryl, a bit of crisp on the top and edges. And all you'd have to do is stick this in the oven. Easy peasy. And also, one thing you should know is even if you made it in the oven, you would have had it covered. And so it would look kind of like this. Then you will put it in to crisp it up and or melt cheese. And another thing to kind of know is that this was still warm this whole time we've been talking. So the noodles are even going to be a little bit more cooked. Yeah, just barely, but yeah. So that's something else to think about. Oh, Lydia, thank you so much for pre-ordering the book. I really appreciate it. We love having you here. And Raw Chef Yen says, thank you so much for all the hard work you've put into this ebook. I know how much behind the scene work it takes to develop recipes, test, create the ebook, take photos, and everything else. I know Raw Chef Yen has a bunch of books that she's done as well. This is the biggest book that I've taken on as an ebook. So this is more recipes than have been in any of my traditionally published cookbooks. Now granted, some of them are shorter, like the spice blends are going to be kind of a list of ingredients and what to do and what to use them for. But that's not all that's in there either. But it's a lot to manage. Ooh, Apple, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's 4 p.m. in Eastern Time, is a body doubling session. So hosting an 8-week series starting tomorrow. So you guys make sure to go to Heartbeat and hang out there. Look below if you don't belong to the Heartbeat group yet, because that's where you'll get that information. It's free. If you're in Kathy's Cooking Club, you get to have a special little area for Kathy's Cooking Club people, but the main part is free and you can chat amongst yourselves there too. Yay! Vegan Knowledge JJ is here. You've just been awesome coming into these lives. There's so many plates and props for photos, says Caleb, and Seven Priest Frog says everything has to be just right. Oh, you want a tour? No, thank you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Maybe in November, because I literally have to take everything out of there. What we've been doing when we've had house sitters over is we keep throwing things in, so you can barely walk in there. Maybe you're doing an 8-week series, Apple. Maybe that can be part of the body doubling once I get back. And I'm back here for November, because I need to do that. And so, Lydia, you'll go to the Heartbeat group, my Heartbeat group, and then Apple will be listing the Zoom links there. DS says maybe you should rent out some of your props to realtors for staging. Before the pandemic, there were a couple of photographers I was talking to, because there are things in big cities. There's such a thing as prop stylists, so they bring all the props and things like that. I would have liked to do that. If you're like a food stylist, you have to cook the food and put the food in a prop that probably a prop stylist figured out. But there are very few vegan only ones, so that doesn't work. All right, let's see. Oh, Lisa, thank you so very much for pre-ordering the book. Ooh, which would be a great Q&A? Tell me again. Oh no, Leanne says my Any Day pan's chipped on the edges. Mine haven't done anything. I've been using them. You might even email them and see.
Yeah.
what's going on, and if they maybe you have a lemon one and they would replace it. They've been really nice.
I think the spice bag is still in the car.
Okay.
Sorry.
And with so many ideas, you'll just keep adding to your book. It'll keep getting bigger. That's why Caleb is he in no uncertain terms told me, even earlier today, that I was not allowed to go past 170. And here I am at 180. But at the end of today, when I go to bed, there will be no recipes added to this book, because you know what? They can go in ebook too. There probably will be another book, and I'll probably have another 180 recipes to put in there.
Probably by then, I would say so.
So it's just going to get put off into the next one. The sun porch is harsh. I told her not to get it. We also had a very small house, so it sounds like the kitchen was very small, and I only had I didn't even have this much counter in the whole of the kitchen. So none of all that.
It was so tiny.
It was a very small.
And then, of course, we would have a Halloween party, and everybody would want to be in that
Everybody be in my kitchen.
6 foot by 2 foot space. Like, everybody would cram into that one little area, and it would make her crazy.
And I finally I had keep out signs for the Halloween party. I was like, no, get out of my way. Oh, good. And yeah, you guys, if you like comedy and you like delightful people, Caleb, follow him. I just watched his rant on coffee shops and people not making their own syrup, so it's kind of fun. So I enjoy it.
I enjoyed as a owner of Meta Glasses, I did enjoy the Meta Glasses short, because I thought that's pretty accurate. It is actually pretty accurate.
So Caleb's channel is seriously unserious. So, but it's just really, I find them a delight, just a delight. And my little grandbaby can do whatever, and everything Caleb does is amazing.
It really is.
So I'm a huge fan. So when Auntie Venom is watching on my commute, Elizabeth says, could you have done the lasagna in the Ninja Crispy? You probably could, but I probably would have cooked it in the oven and at this point moved it to the Ninja Crispy to crisp up the top.
How would you move it to the crispy?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't.
Could you cook it in the crispy crust?
No, because it has the thing to make the air fryer. I think maybe not. What you could do is I don't know if I think I got rid of all those, but you know how you can get little individual muffin things? You could put those and do that in your air fryer. So you can make little mini lasagnas. Or, did I just see one of the pans that no. I've gotten rid of some of my air fryer pans from the book. But you can get these little square dishes and make little individual lasagnas. It's not going to be over there.
No, you cleaned all this out.
I've rearranged. But because you can't sit this inside. If it was a tiny one, you could sit it inside.
Yeah.
So hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know. Aw, thank you so much. Leanne says the pre-order is such a gift. It's not going to be a hardback book or a paperback book. And the reason is it's really expensive. It's a gamble in how much shipping will be from China here, from here to your house, and how much paper goes up. And with all of these tariffs and things, there won't be. However, you can print it out double-sided or have a friend print it out for you. Get it spiral bound, and I think the Rush spiral bound for the Ninja Creamy 3 book was $7.75. And then they just put it all together for me. So you can make one, but that's significantly cheaper than if I did it another way. And there's a lot of factors involved. So with all the tariffs and you might say, oh, we'll print it in the US. Well, you know what? If you go to Staples and you say, I want you to print this book for me, then spiral bound it, it's going to be about $50 or $60. just for that book after you buy it from me.
Yeah, it's
So
so
it's just a lot, and there's a lot of labor, there's a lot of traveling. U.S. postage could double between now and when it...
And I think you mentioned in one of the other lives, they've actually notified some authors who had books coming out that there's going to be delay in their release date because of delays in getting supplies for the books.
Yeah, so that was an author agency that broadcast that to everyone who has an agent through there. So it's just a little more iffy than it's ever been before. So it makes it even more certain I would say no. Now, if someone wanted to come along and buy the book and print it out, we could talk about that. But also one thing that you should know, you know how much work I'm doing, because I'm telling you, when I sell a paperback book, I make $1 on the book you buy. So authors make almost nothing. And that is also why self-publishing, I actually get the money that I make. Or I have an affiliate, like if Yin sells a book, then she gets something for helping me sell it, and I get some money, and we all get to pay our bills. Instead of, I understand it's the publishing house is taking the gamble. They're taking the gamble that shipping doesn't go up and that this doesn't happen and all these other things. But it just is what it is.
Yeah, it's just they haven't, there's not a way to make it beneficial for you guys yet to have a book like that in a price that you could afford.
I wouldn't pay for it. If I could go and get it printed and printed out nicely and everything, but I just think this is the best way to do it for everybody's budget. And if you don't have a printer, a lot of times you can get pages printed at the library and things like that cheaper than you can.
Yeah, sometimes if you just take your own thing of paper and hand it to them, they'll take care of it for you.
So that's something you can ask. The expirations of herbs and spices. Okay, we can talk about that. Will you help me remember that?
I will try my best.
Okay. Leanne, you could also email support@healthyslowcooking.com with that Q&A you want, and it is more likely to happen. Because my brain is so full it could pop.
Our email storage, our second brain right now.
It is. One Auntie Venom said, so glad I locked in my price when I pre-ordered last week. Exactly. It's always good to go ahead and get this done. Oh, hope there's one picture of your whole family and the pets. We'll see.
I don't know if we can even get
we'll try
Freya to sit still for 2 seconds.
You know what? We could take pictures and kind of
put them together
of everybody.
Yeah,
we can try that.
Collage. We can put our new headshots in.
Caleb's seen them. They're great. It would probably be good to bake and freeze and then crispify it. Yes.
Oh, that's a great
idea.
And
that's exactly what we're going to do here. So probably if I froze it, I probably would microwave it, or you could leave it to thaw in the fridge. That's probably not going to happen for me. It could happen for you. You're more responsible. And then I would put it in the oven to crisp it up. Oh, thanks so much, Sherry. Is it Sherry or Shari? I really appreciate that. Oh, Judith says, where did you visit in New Hampshire? We were in
Portsmouth.
Thank you. I moved from South Carolina to Newport in 2024. It's cold here. It was not cold the week we were there.
Nope. We were really, really hoping for some layer weather, and I wore shorts most of the time.
Yeah. Elizabeth says, I prefer an ebook. I think ebooks can be really, really good in that you can have it on your phone and you can go, oh, I wish I could make some dinner. Let me look in this book. Let me go by the store on the way home. It's pretty easy. Oh, okay. One Anti-Venom saying with the Ninja Crispy, I think you can bake in the Crispy if you take the toaster plate out. So that could be really possible, though. I have to read. I think you can put the feet part in the dishwasher too. As long as you can put everything in the dishwasher, I think I could be pro that. And she said there's casseroles on their website. Yeah, we are going through some seriously, seriously crazy times. And I bet you're saying that's crazy, Kathy, over $1 a book. Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, good. Apple and Caleb are going to like each other a lot. I can already tell.
Yep. Caleb's going to have to go with us now so that he can go with us when we visit Apple.
Yep. Get ready, Caleb, for your Alaska cruise next year so we can spend some time in Vancouver with Apple.
Yep.
Which Seriously Unserious is Caleb on YouTube? It would be, let me go back here. It was on.
Oh, Apple had it.
This one, CLEBPLS. Right?
Yeah, Apple put it in there too.
So there, it's in the chat, so you can, I think you can copy it out of the chat. And Vegan Knowledge says, as an author, I completely understand. I'll check out your channel, Caleb, and I want to join your group too, Apple. Love this community. It's amazing. It is. I know all the best people. And that is just
She tells people that all the time.
because it's true, though. It's absolutely true. Like, even when we came back from Ecamm Creator Camp, you guys aren't interested in the video world as much. Most of you aren't, anyhow. But we just got to hang out with all of our favorite people, right? And it's just so nice to know so many really cool, kind people. It was cold in the conference room in New Hampshire, is what Caleb said. It was a little bit. Oh, Gigi, you haven't received a confirmation of your order? Then go ahead and send an email to support@healthyslowcooking.com. Usually the cause of that is a typo in an email address.
Yeah, make sure to give me the email address that you used or thought you used. And also, if you already have an account, it could be possible.
Well, anyhow, just send her an email and she will go and check everything and ask you some more questions. Caleb says, I would love to go to Vancouver. Well, all right, mister, I'll send you the link to the cruise tonight. I've been trying to get him on a cruise with us. And
it's a virgin one, too.
It is. You'll love it. And you'll get to see Alaska. Nick says, I prefer ebooks too. Love that you can search the text. And that's another thing you can do because it's a PDF. You can type in there and find whatever it is you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Anybody else have any questions? Because I think we're going to wrap this up for tonight. So the only thing, we probably would have cooked this just a little more, but you still got to see all the things that we did. So I feel like you could recreate this if you needed to. Mm-hmm. But if you have some questions about this, and again, I didn't make my sauce from scratch, but I would just have a can of crushed tomatoes. I leave it in the can. I put some of my Italian seasoning in it.
She really does.
Some nutritional yeast and some balsamic vinegar.
Because I'll come in the living room and I'll be whining and I'll say, I wanted to make spaghetti, but there's no spaghetti sauce. And then she'll just roll her eyes and come
just
in
like
here.
I did.
And she'll open up a can and then she'll just, there's your tomato sauce, and then go back in the other room.
So, and you can do something really similar with salsa too. So it's really great, especially if you can't have salt or oil, or there's certain things you don't want to have, or if you have an allergy to a certain herb, you could fix that as well. Mm-hmm. And it's cheap. It's so much cheaper to buy that, and buy them when they're on sale. Like sometimes the bigger cans can be a little bit expensive, but look for them when they're on sale and kind of get,
they're kind of like about that big around.
Aren't they like?
They're like the equivalent
24 ounce?
They're like the equivalent of two cans.
cans.
Yeah.
And I think, and here's the thing, if you made a big thing of pasta sauce, you're just making it for yourself, guess what you can do with that leftover pasta sauce?
Freeze it.
Freeze it.
And you know, I have seen her get the big can. Like
oh, like the number 10.
Like if we had a party, she's gotten the big can, and then she like takes the top off, and she puts all the stuff in, then she takes the immersion blender and goes, rah, 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 and then it's just done. And she's like, there's the sauce. Make the pasta.
I'm not going to get over that face.
Well, that's the noise it makes.
Does it do the thing with its little head too? Honk, honk. Y'all, we have not been drinking. We have not.
This is what happens around here after like 6 o'clock. That's why I'm surprised that she's having lives at 6 o'clock.
Well, literally, this was going to be our dinner until like I thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah. Kava to the rescue.
Kava, a little kava. We got some extra veggies.
And that was the first time we'd been to Kava in a very, very long time.
Do you guys have a kava where you are? And is it something you like? Like, for a while, we stopped going to the kava in Chapel Hill because they weren't cooking there. I love a beluga lentil. Those little tiny black lentils. A, because they're spooky like Halloween. And B, because they cook really fast. Mm-hmm. So they're really wonderful to have. They remind me of the French lentils too, the little French lentils.
But they weren't cooking them good at all there.
They were crunchy.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like they were a little al dente.
They were hard.
I thought I was going to break a tooth, and I was not happy because it's not cheap. It's not a bazillion dollars, but I mean, if I'm paying...
It's more expensive than it was.
If I'm paying $10 to $12 for a bowl of food, I would like to not break my tooth on it.
But it's nice because it's one of those bowl places, and you can get brown rice, and you can get lentils, and their regular hummus is oil-free. They're just plain hummus, because you can buy it at Whole Foods. I'm sure you guys might have seen it at your Whole Foods where they have it in the container, and just the regular one was oil-free the last time I got it.
Okay, always double check because
double check because they change it.
Manufacturers change recipes all the time, so if you have any kind of allergies or things you're looking to limit, always read that label just a second time. Bring your glasses if you need to. That's why Cheryl wears her glasses on a regular basis now.
Yeah, and so they have vegan falafel, and they have a, what do they call that mix?
Roasted
vegetable mix,
and
which
it's
is
like
really tasty.
Cauliflower, and I think they had
Brussels.
They had Brussels sprouts. They had many Brussels sprouts.
Carrots. There was something else in there this time too. It was very.
It was
nice.
Romesco. That's what it's.
Very nice.
Romesco is like the mathematical broccoli cauliflower combo. It looks really cool. Hey Tanya, it's good to see you. Oh TS, I'm glad you're enjoying the episode. Carlene says immersion blender, good idea for a Halloween costume.
That's true.
I don't know if I want to see her in that.
I could pull that off. I was just gonna wear my dinosaur again.
I think so. We got me a new witch hat. Maybe I'll wear that on Friday. So I
wear my dinosaur.
Oh my.
My T-Rex.
The fun just keeps coming. You just didn't know it could get any more fun, and here we are.
I love that costume.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Apple. You are just a support and a help and an inspiration. So thank you so much for being part of the community and giving so freely of doing like the body doubling sessions. It's just amazing. Apple is so amazing. So if you guys have a task or a project, that it could just be nice sitting around with other people trying to do their stuff and having that kind of support, definitely come. I've not been able to make them all, but it's awesome when I do. And you just can't have, it's free and it's amazing.
And there's something comforting about doing some mundane task that you don't really want to do when you know that there's other people doing stuff with you, even if you're not talking or having a conversation or anything like that, but you still know that they're there with you and that you're not alone doing what you're doing.
It feels like when you say, oh, I want to start walking, but it's hard to walk by myself, and a friend says, I'll walk with you, right? Because then you're more likely to show up. TS says, can't go wrong with a dinosaur.
I'm telling you, that thing's a great outfit.
And Susan says, that sounds so good. Where is this place? It's a chain, Cava, C-A-V-A. So you might see if there's one in your area. It's just a bowl place, a Mediterranean bowl place.
Yeah.
And they do have things pretty clearly listed as vegan, but they also should know all of the vegan options. But it's really easy to eat vegan there. Really easy. All right, guys, I don't see any more questions. So we are going to go sit down, do some more work, watch some Cozy Mystery.
Absolutely.
All right. So your assignment for the night is to do something nice for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you have dinner at home, eat some leftovers, make your favorite soup, take a bath, take a walk, call a friend. Pick anything. You don't even have to pick from that list. Something that's going to make you feel a little bit better. Oh, Lisa's here.
Like
Yay.
it's something that's going to make you even like, you see me sometimes when my shoulders are up here because I'm a little stressed out. Something that'll make your shoulders just droop, right?
Yeah.
Something to take that tension out. Just let go, right?
I might make us some,
Tea?
Yeah,
Yes,
I could make
please.
if we open the windows and make it cooler in here, I'll make us some non-caffeinated.
I think it might get down to 40 tonight.
Ooh, that would be glorious.
I will wear my footed PJs.
No, she won't.
I won't because I'll have a heat stroke.
She will. I'm like, no.
If I have my feet in something, oh my gosh.
And then you won't
I'm gonna
complain
get
about how
overheat,
cold the room was
and
tomorrow.
then I'm going to overheat. And then, for some reason, if my feet get hot, that's it. I'm done.
All right, guys. Hugs, kisses, much love. We will see you live on Friday, to be announced ahead of time. And you guys, for Kathy's Cooking Club, expect an email.